Hey y'all, and welcome back to my show, Living Life with Leticia. Today, let's just get into our devotion. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. And that's Matthew 6:25. And we have a problem with that. It says, Jesus warns his disciples in the passage against anxiety and greed. He shames them with his questions. They are worrying about things they have no business worrying about. They worry about what they can get and don't trust God to provide. Jesus explained to them that God provides for even the birds of the air and the flowers of the field. What makes them think that he won't provide for them as well? This is just one of the many times that Jesus questions the faith of his disciples. Our prayer today is, Lord, help me not to fret about how my needs will be supplied. Let me trust you to take care of me. Let me not live my life in anxiousness. Strengthen my faith in you. Thank you for making sure I'm taken care of. Amen. Amen.
Congratulations on your new...
Get out of here. All right. Well, today we are going to talk about consumer affair things. I have the newest consumer affair. This is updated. I get something every day. So today we're just going to go through some of the things that may be on recall. We have some scams going on. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about those. And we're going to keep this episode kind of upbeat because we've been down and oppressed and feels like we are worrying about things that we have no control over. We don't know why all of these mass shootings are happening. And we worry about the Lord taking care of us. But then you do have to realize where if you see just a field of nothing but weeds and stuff, just look like, snakes and everything would be over there in that area. But you see a flower or a tree that has sprouted up out of all of that stuff, all of that debris that's around. A tree with beautiful blooms of flowers, purple and whatever color they come out to be. So, you taking care of them plants out there. One other thing I watched yesterday. Now, I told y'all I become a bird walker. And so I was just outside and it was windy. I think it was Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. It was pretty windy. It blew over my hammock and all. Just a mess. But anyway, so I'm looking up in the sky and I see this little bird and he just, he's struggling. He's trying to get there. I mean, he is struggling through that wind. And then when he got up so high, I seen him dive down and start playing around and doing, he was having a good time, but sometimes it's a struggle to get where we need to get to, y'all. But I guess the whole moral to the story is that we need to not worry about it because God's got us. And we worried about this virus. I know I did. We worried about these mass shootings. I know I am. And he's telling us in our scripture today to not. We're worried about things that we have no business worrying about. I mean, worrying about. We can do some stuff. He ready for us to do some stuff. Well, I don't know what stuff, but somebody, y'all tell me what you need me to do. I'll do it. I mean, we just trying to survive here in this world and live and not get cut down in our prime. I don't know if I'm still in my prime. Prime is 61. Then I'm there, baby. But anyway, let's get into our consumer affairs. Today, I have shoppers are warned about growing scams with Costco. Now, you may have heard this, and if you have, again, you should have told me because I would have reported it sooner. But since you did not, here we go. Costco has warned consumers that the list of scams that use the company's name and logo is growing. In an imposter scam, criminals use ads, why can't I never say social media? Social media posts, text, and emails to pose as government agencies or major retailers to persuade users to click on a link or provide sensitive personal information. While the scams can be highly creative, the latest one is simple and straightforward. Criminals have created a website that appears to be a page from the actual Costco website that offers a product for sale at a dramatic price reduction. There was a person that was victimized, so it actually happened. A company I ordered from uses your logo and email, he says. I believe it's a fake site, but your logo appears on the web page. They offer products at great discounted rates. However, I never received the product I ordered or responds to my email. It says the tip of the iceberg is this scam is only the tip of the iceberg. It's getting chilly up in here. Here comes the tea. When it comes to schemes that try to leverage the Costco brand and reputation, the company has published a list of these scams on its website to warn customers. Most of them try to tempt victims by offering huge discounts of free gifts. The recent lures included free products, exclusive offers, cashback rewards, and gift cards. Scammers posing as the retailer also tried to collect personal information by using a phony survey. The victims receive a text that appears to come from Costco, and it bears the company's logo and seeks feedback about the customer's recent shopping experience. It'll say, congratulations, you've been chosen to receive a special reward, minimum $120 value. That the text reads, all you have to do is answer a few questions about your recent shopping experience at Costco. Do not take the survey because it is a scam. It is a scam to get your information and also to get information like it says, this is a hallmark of a scam because it encourages the victim to act without thinking. Those who click on the Take Survey link will be asked to enter their credit card information. Number 1 flag, bank account number. Number 2 flag, social security number. Freaking big old flag. It's a big old flag. Red. Whoop, 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 whoop. Warning. And other personal information. Needless to say, no gift ever arrives. Now, the other scams offer free television sets and cash that should serve as red flags. Any site that says anything like that, if it's too good to be true, it normally is. Too good to be true. It's not for real. You have to be aware of scams and people trying to take your money because they are out there, hunty, and they are good at what they do. Okay, so that's the Costco scam. It says Ford Motor Company to pay $19.2 million in a settlement over fuel economy claims. Ford will pay $19.2 million to settle charges that it falsely advertised the real-world fuel economy of its C-Max hybrids and the payload capacity of certain Super Duty pickup trucks. The complaint was brought by the Attorney General of nearly every state. And this is talking about Ford, child. As a result of the multi-state investigation, the states concluded that Ford made several misrepresentations to consumers, including the distance they could drive on a single tank of gas. That driving style wouldn't affect fuel economy. It does. You have to stop going in on that gas pedal. You going time you get on the road, you just used up a half a tank of gas just coming out your driveway. Stop that. You got to go at a regular speed. Come to a slow stop. Don't, you got to be jerked around and swung around. You're using a lot of gas doing all that. I drive fast. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do drive fast. But I drive sensibly fast. I do. I drive at a steady speed. If I'm going to go 75, 75 it is. I may go 74. Not too much below. Now if I'm going 80, 80 it is. I'm consistent. That's all I'm saying. You got to stay consistent. Yo, That makes you use a lot of gas. Don't do that. Anyway, back to what we was talking about. Or back to what we were talking about. I'm going to have to start trying to talk as proper as I can. Because, again, I'm a Texan. Yeehaw. Anyway, as a result of the multi-state investigation, the states concluded that Ford made several misrepresentations to consumers, including the distance they could drive, and its vehicle had superior fuel economy when compared to other hybrids. Lies. Consumers should be able to trust information issued by the product's manufacturer, particularly if the product is something as expensive as a vehicle. True that. We looked at Ford. They have a Ford Mustang SUV. It's called the E-Mach or something like that. It's $70,000. Your payment would be like $1,100 or $1,200. We looked at it yesterday because a friend of ours was talking about it and he seen one. And he said it was nice looking. It is nice, but not that nice. If I get a $70,000 car, my $70,000 car better come, drive me home, not like a Tesla, driving through windows and walls and whatnot, and, going all crazy. It better be on point. Drive me to my house, let me glide out of my car, and have an escalator, or not escalator, but, a ramp. Those things that move at the roof and walkway. That's what I need to my bed. $70,000. I need some stuff. I need my car to have my meals ready when I get in there. I want my car to fill up on its own. I'm paying $70,000 for you. At least you could do is get your own gas. I mean, $1,200. I can't even afford to fill you up. I got to put $5 in you and go, I can't even fill the tank up because I can't afford the gas payments. Because I've got a $1,200 car payment that should be like my house payment that I'm paying on a car. 70 is, they said the cheapest one was like 50,000 and they up to 73. That's ridiculous. You don't need that kind of car. They'll come down. Just wait on it. And it's Ford, and this is the first year that they've come out with the car, and I've done that before. I purchased a Ford the first year it came out with Taurus, the Tauruses. I had to have that Taurus. Came off the showroom floor, 0 miles, and guess what? It was a stick shift. I don't know how to drive no stick shift. I didn't, but I learned. I told that guy, I was like, okay. He said, the only car we have is this stick. And it was the right price. It had everything on it that I wanted. Sunroof. Everything, in the dash, all good and cool and whatnot. Child, that car was the biggest lemon in the world. Lemonade I could have made out of it. It squeezed every juice or point that I had in me out. Lemonade. It was a lemon, and they should have passed the lemon law way before they did, but they didn't. Lemon law been around for a long time. But one thing Ford did, I had to do a lot of writing in, but they did take care of, the clutch went out several times. They took care of that. And it wasn't because I was riding the clutch either, so don't even think that. I know how to drive. Man showed me how before I left. And he did. I was like, you're going to have to show me how to drive this car before I can't just drive. No stick. I don't know nothing about it. I had never even tried to drive a stick. My grandfather had one in the steering column. You push on the clutch. That's hard too. And I didn't ever want to do that because that looked like you got to have some muscles, and I don't have them kind of muscles. So anyway, I go into the car dealership. He says, this guy, I'll take you and give you some quick driving lessons. He did. He gave me some driving lessons, how to, go in on the clutch, how to come to a stop, and how to, give it a little gas, give it a little clutch. That way you don't have to go on the gas. I love doing that. Making it, I learned how to do it. I had to practice. I had to teach myself how to drive that car. He showed me the details, and then I had the book and the manual and whatnot. But honey child, let me tell you, okay, I'm gonna tell you, as I left the dealership, after he done gave me a 2-hour tutorial, I'm leaving. I get on the freeway. We get on the freeway. The person that I'm with leaves me, gone. I'm like, what the heck? I don't know how to drive this car. So I made it far enough to get to my mom's house. That's when I was living in Dallas. I made it far enough to get to my mom's house. And I pull up, I honk the horn, I'm proud of my car. But honey child, it was dark. It took me forever to get home. And then once I got home, I'm still, pumped up because when you get something new, a new car, whatever, your adrenaline is pumped. So you're on 10 because you got something new, you got something, that you gotta, it's spreading spanking new off the showroom floor, you understand me? And ain't nobody got this because I got the first one. Well, the neighborhood that I lived in had a hill. I couldn't get over the hump. Okay. So every morning, every stop sign, because I'm thinking, please, Lord, let somebody go on and go, because this was a busy kind of, it was they got cars going both ways, okay? Kind of like my street that I live off of now. Cars are going both ways. So you got cars, and then you trying to get out. However, the only difference is that getting out was a hump. So I had to go over that or try to get over that with this clutch and going in on the gas. And I'm come around me. I've flagged everybody around me until it gets clear. I still got the sticker on my darn thing. They're like, oh, she having problems with her car. She just got it. No, I just don't know how to drive it. So what I would do every day at lunch, because I was determined I'm going to drive this darn car. I'm driving this car. I would go to a parking lot, and one that had the biggest humps that they could in the parking lots, those city bumps. And so I would practice because I wanted the biggest one so I could practice going in on the clutch, coming off the clutch, going in on the gas, going off the clutch. And I became a professional driver. Now I can drive any stick. Let that be, as my sister say. I even taught my son how to drive a stick shift. And this truck don't even have no stick in it. It's automatic. I'm like, what's the point? I want to shift some gears. Something I'm on. And before I bought this car, my car that I was going to be looking at, which I did, was the 280Z, the Nissan. Because I was like, I may as well go on and get what I want. But honey child, let me tell you, I also have knee problems. My knees do not work in a low car like that. My Altima is high enough or low enough. So 280Z, oh well. One day, when these knees are better, maybe. But anyway, lest I digress, I went on to something else. However, if you've got a Ford, it says that the state officials also investigated alleged misleading best-in-class payload claims related to Ford's 2011 through the 2014 Super Duty pickup trucks, which included the F-250, the F-350, and the F-450. The attorneys general, which because they said almost all 50 states were included in, claimed that Ford based its methodology for calculating maximum payload capacity for advertising purposes on a hypothetical truck configuration that was available only to fleet customers. They are pleased with the settlement. In a statement to Automotive News, Ford said it was pleased that the issue was closed without any judicial finding of improper conduct. We worked with the states to resolve their concerns, and the process limited additional investigative costs and legal expenses for all parties. The Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton said he was pleased that Ford agreed not to make false or misleading claims about pickup truck payload capacity and fuel economy. So basically, large company taking advantage of us little people again, saying big stuff. But anyway, they're supposed to pay $19.2 million in some sort of restitution. If you had one of those vehicles, then maybe they will contact you. Now, I never thought that these litigations would ever amount to anything, but I received a check for one for $80 some. It was for, I think it was the fees for Bank of America or something like that. But anyway, or I have a lot, they have a litigation against them too, but I don't know what that one was for. I'll have to go and look and see. Now we are up to our recalls. Two companies, but they're about the fifth wheel and travel trailers. There's a KZRV and there's also a DRV, mobile suites and full home fifth wheel RV. It says the quick disconnect fittings in the LP gas system may be cracked. And these are models. This is the KZRV. If you have one of those, they're recalling 14,524 models. From year 2021 through 2022, the KZRV, Sport Tech, the Sonic, the Stratus, Connect, the Sportsman, the Sportsman's SE, the Sportsman's Classic, and the Sportsman Sportster, fifth wheel and travel trailers. This quick disconnect fittings in the LP gas system may be cracked, which could cause a gas leak. A gas leak in the presence of an ignition source can increase the risk of fire. What you should do, dealers will replace the fittings free of charge. Owner notification letters are expected to be mailed on June 30. Owners may contact KZRV customer service at 800-768-4016, extension 154 or 153. They also have the DRV, Mobile Suites Full House, fifth wheel RVs recalled. It's the same thing. The quick disconnect fittings and the LP gas system may be cracked. Dealers will inspect and replace the fittings if necessary, free of charge. Owner notification letters are to be mailed July of 2020. Customer service number at 260-562-3500. This is a food product. It's called Mrs. Miller's Homemade Jam. And the product contains soy and allergen not declared on the label. Mrs. Miller's Homemade Jams of Fredericksburg, Ohio, is recalling 9-ounce glass jars of smoky barbecue bacon jam and spicy chili bacon jam. The product contains soy and allergen not declared on the label. There have been no report of illness at this time. The recalled products were available for sale from April 1st, 2019 through May 9th, 2022. Online at a list of retailers and distributors can be found. Customers, what you need to do, anyone who purchased the recalled product should not consume them. Instead, they should discard them and contact Mrs. Miller Jams for a replacement jar. Consumers with questions can contact 330-674-1165 or email info@millershomemade.com. Other thing is scammers are exploiting the infant formula shortage. And I know you guys have probably heard that, which is really, really, really awful. They're trying to get milk to these babies that have a special need. And you people are out there scamming. Oh my gosh, it never ceases to amaze me, but why would I be amazed at what's going on? It may come as no surprise that scammers have discovered the growing infant formula shortage and are seeking to cash in. The hook comes in the form of an ad or a post in the social media and tells anxious parents that they have ample supplies of baby formula available for sale. Relieved parents submit their orders and make a payment through a legitimate peer-to-peer payment platform. But wait, no formula arrives. Consumer advocates say that these types of scams are particularly dangerous because the targets are already worried and upset. So they may have gone from store to store without finding formula. They've watched news reports and displays the empty shelves. And so, of course, the scammers are taking advantage of that. If there is no physical address for the company making the offer, it's likely a scam. If there is an address, consumers should conduct a Google Street View search. We used to do that at work too. People would call in and give us a fictitious address to get telephones shipped. I mean, that was the scam, and maybe it's still a scam going on because that was awful. That was the worst scam in the world. You think you're getting a sale of 30 or 40 wireless phones, and you find that the address you shipped it to was a box house. I don't know, just a fictitious address that they, not necessarily fictitious, it's an address, but it's not their address, and it's not the address that they even own. So, scams is all kind of forms, hunty. All right, it says, if there's an address, consumers should conduct a Google search. Make sure that it's not a vacant house or vacant lot or a suburban home. If this is supposed to be a business and they're shipping from a business, then you expect it to have a business address and in a business. But there are people that have homes that they're conducting their business out of. So that's kind of, you know, six in one hand, half a dozen in another. It can be, you know, that they're actually working out of their homes too. But carefully check the reviews. That's one thing that we need to learn to do. And I've learned to look to see what somebody else thought about it. What did they do for these other people and how did they come out? Don't check their website, of course. Check, just, you know, put in their name and see if there's any reviews. It said consumers should also look for reviews of the company making the offer and check more than one source. Search the company's name, followed by the word scam, and see what pops up. Credit cards often provide more protection against fraud, so other than any other payment, so use your credit card if you can. Of course, there's price gouging out there, so, you know, I know that this milk is important for your children, but don't become a victim of these scams that these people are running out here. I would just wait until you can buy it from the store. I know your babies are hungry and they are needing that milk, but you're needing that milk too, and you need the money to provide it for you. And if you're spending it on a possibility of getting it or not getting it, then I would suggest just waiting if you can. I mean, I know that's hard. So it puts you guys in a really difficult predicament. I pray that you guys will, you know, they will figure out something to get your babies your formula that they need and take care of you guys. But the scams are out here. You guys know it. Don't fall for it. And if you do decide to purchase anything, use your credit card and make sure that it's not like an astronomical amount because, you know, or too low because too good to be true. Too good to be true. All right, we have another scam going on, and it says scammers target those with student loans. I know I've had several calls, I've had emails talking about they noticed that I had a student loan, and if I do, y'all better pay it yourself. Scammers target consumers with fake student loan debt relief offer. Back in April, federal officials in the U.S. Department of Education extended the student loan payment pause that brought on by COVID-19 pandemic to October 31st of 2022. The announcement was to welcome news to eligible consumers who needed more time in their payments. Unfortunately, scammers have been quick to capitalize. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, announced today that criminals have been targeting consumers with fake student loan forgiveness offers in an attempt to steal their information. In some cases, these fraudsters may offer to enter the victims into a loan forgiveness program that they don't even qualify for. In some instances, they may claim that they're able to completely eliminate a borrower's debt by disputing the charges. The agency says that consumers shouldn't heed these too good to be true offers and that they should remain skeptical about any messages that come from non-official source. Now, as you heard on the other one, people can make those sites look official. Now, we learned in as many trainings as we could at AT&T that always look for that little lock at the top of that page, of that website, of that bar that you've typed in. Once it gets to that website, if there's a lockup, that means it is a secured site and you're okay to look at it, and it's okay for you to input your information or trust that site. And so that's how I look at it. If it's got a little lock, then I know I'm good to go. So now scammers may have gotten wise to that. So you have to be careful. I'm not saying that that's that's the thing to look for, but that's what we've been taught to look for. So eventually, a broader federal student loan forgiveness plan. The official word comes from the Department of Education, not random calls or texts or emails or social media messages. It's going to be from the Department of Education. The FTC says there are some things that people should know about student loan forgiveness. First of all, there are specific federal loan forgiveness programs. The agency says consumers can take advantage of public service loan forgiveness and the teacher loan forgiveness programs if they are eligible. They can even try to join the public service loan forgiveness limited waiver program that is going on right now. But the deadline is October 31st of this year. Those who have questions about the loan forgiveness program they qualify for should contact the loan servicer or the Department of Education directly. Don't share your FSA ID. Scammers are always looking for information, so they may claim that they need your FSA to help you with the loan forgiveness goals. However, the FTC says you should never share your FSID with anyone because that information can be used to get into your account and steal your identity. So whoever have an FSA, don't give it out. And you don't need to pay for help. So if there is a program for you to a loan forgiveness plan, there is never a cost. It said the FTC points out that there are plenty of free options that consumers can utilize to help with loan forgiveness. If you have questions about the loans or need more information about how you can resume payments in August, the agency says to contact your loan service. So if it's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, whoever it is, call them. Don't trust, because I got a call the other day saying they were going to help me with my student loan. I don't have one. I had one before, but I do not tend to more. We have a Porsche recall. Porsche is recalling models from the 2020 to the 2021 Taycans, Taycans. Taycans. The driver and passenger's seat wire harness may become damaged. Porsche of North America is recalling 9,570 year 2020s and 2021 Taycans. The driver and the passenger's seat wire harness could be damaged during horizontal seat adjustment. So when you sliding it up or sliding it back. A damaged seat wire harness may deactivate the vehicle's airbags, increasing the risk of injury in a crash. What you should do if you have one of these Taycans, the dealership will inspect the seat wire harness for damage and fabric tape to secure the harness at no charge. The owner notification letters are expected to be mailed on June 24th, and owners may contact Porsche customer service at 1-800-767-7243, and its Porsche's recall number is ANA5. ANA5. Still from Consumer Affairs, and it says, how safe are your groceries? The study says it depends on where you shop. A new study from consumer watchdog USPIRG suggests that the public isn't always kept in the loop about food recalls. The organization contacted 50 of the largest grocery and convenience store chains to learn how they get the word out to customers when a contamination is discovered and food items are pulled from the shelves. It found that some grocery chains take several steps, but some do very little. It's not just the companies that could do more, apparently. Some federal agencies need to game up too. The most glaring example that the researchers gave us was when the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recalled 225 varieties of bagged lettuce, spinach, and salad products in December because of potentially deadly contamination. The researchers said it took the agency an entire week to get the alert published. The U.S. PIRG found that the FDA also dragged its feet last year when an onion recall was issued due to an outbreak of salmonella. More than 1,000 people ultimately got sick, with a quarter of them being hospitalized. The lax in notification standards could cost lives, and that's what they're saying. Stores are not required to notify customers directly of recalls. The FDA currently only requires a customer to post on its recall website and publish an official news release that initiates the recall. Unfortunately, being casual about issuing notices could prove to be fatal. The USPIRG researchers cited a Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, estimate that 1 in 6 Americans, or about 55 million people, get sick each year from foodborne diseases. Of those, 128,000 wind up in the hospital, and 3,000 of them die. We need to do a better job on the easy part, warning consumers what would make them sick. It's horrifying that eating contaminated salad, fruit, or chocolate could make you deadly ill. But it's even worse when you realize that some food poisoning easily could be prevented with public awareness. Which companies do the best job of alerting customers? In its analysis, the USPIRG stated that one of the leaders of Pittsburgh-based Giant Eagle, which was nearly 500 grocery stores in Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, Indiana, Maryland. The company's standard operating procedure is to make automated phone calls to customers who have loyalty cards and a phone number on file. Other chains that the consumer watchdog thought deserved a thumbs up included Albertsons, CVS, Costco, Winn-Dixie, Food Lion, Amazon, Whole Foods, and Trader Joe's. With toxicity rising on the chart of health safety concerns progressing, consumers can find out how retailers are progressing towards reducing and eliminating toxic chemicals and offering safer, more substantial products and packaging. Minding the Stores offers consumers a report card that they can use to access how 50 of the large retailers in North America rank on the chemicals they use in their product. And Consumer Affairs also covers any recalls of all products in its daily news, and they send you something daily. All right, guys, I think we've done as many recalls and notifications as we could on anything that's pending right now. These are from Consumer Affairs. You can go there yourself. But I get this, and so I'd like to share it with you whenever I can, at least once or twice a month. So we will be covering some of the recalls and scams and things like that are going on to let you know that somebody's watching to help us save some money too, or help us to stay healthy and safe. So I hope you guys have gotten something from my segment today. I hope you stay blessed, and always be blessed and be a blessing. Deuces. Bye, y'all.